gods and the goddesses, children of the Most High, and the Great Spirit, Holy Mother. Now, we're going to be getting into frequencies and vibrations and rise of Robo-Cop'S, transhumanism of the synthetic meta-verse, or meta-human, or meta-morph, which means dead cells going through a change to try to make it be alive.
Every word we speak, every song we hear, every notification that dings on our phone carries a frequency, a vibration that moves through the air. It moves through the body and the mind. The idea here is that sound is being used to influence and control you. We can go from tribal drums all the way to modern music production, and throughout time, humans have used sound to reach deep into consciousness, to move people, to unite them. It's been used to calm them or move them into action. And you can bet that those same frequencies that were once used in ancient rituals are now embedded in the digital rhythms that we just live with every day. Many that we didn't know were even there. Ancient civilizations treated sound as sacred technology. They used chants, bells, and harmonic resonance to align communities, for healing, to shift people into altered states of awareness. The idea was that if you could tune the human being, if you could tune their mind, heart, and spirit to the right frequency, you could change their reality. I want you guys to think about how powerful this is. Think about how music can shape your mood. You put on the right song and you know that this particular song can change your mood almost instantly. If you can use music to put yourself in a bad mood or to validate your mood, then you can use music to put yourself in a good mood. Think about how a movie soundtrack can tell you what to feel before a single word is spoken. You hear that notification sound on your phone and that triggers instant attention, even anxiety. I mean, the solution is simple. You turn the sound off on notifications and magically no more notification dings. That's one little thing, folks. You just relieved a huge load of anxiety-related stress that you may not have known was even there. You're not working on the phone's time, you're working on your time, right? But it was the sound that you kept hearing that was training you. But there is something about having this device around you all the time. What about the invisible waves that slip beneath detection and go straight for the nervous system? When you realize this, it changes how you hear everything. The hum of machines, the background music in a store, the audio frequencies in the media. Think of them as signals tuning us. If someone else can tune you, then someone else can play you. Unless you learn.
Now, Facebook, I know we on YouTube. We just talked about this. We were talking about the body can be hacked. Right? The body can be hacked. They simply giving you, codes and enzymes of artificial intelligence, but hey.
Them as signals tuning us. If someone else can tune you, then someone else can play you. Unless you learn to become the one who tunes yourself.
Look at that. That was just two days ago,
432.
And here it is. The body is so hackable. But in your understanding, flesh and blood is cursed. It will never inherit the kingdom of God. See how different verb and adjectives can twist the narrative. If you're not in the spirit, how the book said, only the spirit get the right interpretation of the word you're reading. But why do people keep saying the book, John, Matthew, woo-de-woo? They don't know how to speak with the will and the power.
Hertz to 440 hertz. And that was standardized in 1953. Now, that's not really a noticeable difference for the average person, but it has been said that 432 hertz, called the natural frequency of the universe, resonates more harmoniously with the human body and the Earth's natural vibration. And that would produce feelings of calm and clarity. 440 hertz is said to create subtle tension and unease, and excites the emotion rather than soothes it.
That's that eerie music that you don't like. I don't care if it's rock and roll, rap, R&B, soul, singing, gospel, country. All right. There's some songs that come on and you be like, you might even like the artist. Man, I know his name about to be on this track. So, you know, that's why I named on genres. But that's what he's talking about. It is not the music. It's the 440 hertz. It is the intent of the heart of what made or inspired the artist to do what it do. Inspiration can be summoned as well as it descends from heaven. Okay? So, we told you the difference between 438 and 440, but the true harmonic is 528 or 825 or 285, as long as those three numbers are in line with each other.
Producers use compression, repetition, they use engineered frequencies to conjure up strong emotional reactions, and people can have these addiction-like responses. Repetition hooks into the mind. There are sudden frequency drops, or there are these builds that trigger dopamine spikes. So every chorus, every drop, every auto-tuned voice is designed to hold the listener's attention. Not necessarily to inspire anyone these days. Well, influence, yes, but mainly to keep you locked in a loop. It's sound that's being engineered for engagement in an attention economy. We've known that for years. Advertisers and military researchers have tested subliminal audio frequencies to influence behavior. We know that they're using infrasound,
such as the beep, little fox or whatever, cable, whatever, when you got a hurricane or a tragedy or a terrorist attack, like this is not a test, or this is a test from the something something program. Yeah, that's frequencies to control you.
Sonic and ultrasonic tones, frequencies just outside human hearing. We know that they've been using acoustic weapons for crowd control. Online, we have this rhythm of clips and videos. There's that ping of a notification, that little click sound that goes with a like. Think about all the auditory cues you hear throughout the day, everywhere, that are designed to trigger reward loops in the brain. Phone notifications, text message tones, email alerts, app ping or pop sounds, alarm clocks, time beeps, keyboard clicks, the startup sound of a computer or console, the hum of electronics or Wi-Fi routers. Most of you can't even hear your electronics anymore. You do know that your electronics are making a sound right now, but it's so low, you tuned it out quick. Ringtone loops, autoplay video sounds, typing notification bubbles, sirens, car horns, traffic noise, train crossing bells, elevator chimes, grocery store checkout beeps, store background music, intercom announcements, airplane boarding or seatbelt chimes, police, EMS radio talk.
In order to win, you've got to feel your best and show up with your game face on, which is why double wear is my number one. It never fails. No touch-ups, no fade. Every time, every game. Game day, your way. Estee Lauder. With the delectable lickable spoon treats, anytime is a good time.
Here we go. Gotta look at the commercials. So I'll be your infomercial. Now you see how technochromacy is being worked on through you. You see how it's not a game, that you are versusing your own alter ego conscience and temptations in the form of an arm, leg, arm, head, alternative, artificial, but yet the intelligence is real because it's you. Last time I checked.
Of a fan or AC unit, construction tools, jackhammers, drills, laughter in the background, whispering, sudden silence in a room, someone calling your name, crying or shouting, coughing in a crowd, the applause of a crowd. And maybe you hear in the background some emotionally weighted voices. Thunder, rainfall, wind howling, bird calls, crickets at night, ocean waves, branches tapping on a window, horror movie sounds or those low frequency rumbles, sudden musical stings, laugh tracks, advertisement jingle melodies. How many of you would easily recognize that sound Netflix makes when it chimes? In sports, there's whistles and buzzer sounds, church bells. There are the sounds of people chanting or using mantras, Tibetan singing bowls, drums, horns, tuning forks, meditation gongs, heartbeat sounds, breathing patterns, footsteps approaching, knocking. Folks, almost anything that makes a sound out of nowhere, we're on it. It immediately breaks your attention. And if we are that sensitive to sound, there's no telling what all of this is really doing to us. Each sound is a miniature signal of gratification, training the mind to crave more interaction so that you will do more scrolling, you'll engage more. The process is no different from conditioning an animal with a bell and a treat, you see? One vibration at a time. Think about the types of sounds that you could hear that would trigger an alert response or even fear. Low frequency rumbles, sudden sharp cracks and snaps, distant or approaching footsteps, animal growls or hissing, high-pitched ringing or screeching, glass breaking. Then you have those sounds associated with control or direction, beeps indicating correct or incorrect, the corporate logo chime that makes you feel strangely reassured, notification pings, retail door chimes, elevator arrival tones, that beeping sound that you hear every time an item gets scanned at checkout. You expect to hear a beep when your item gets scanned. You don't even realize that you're waiting to hear the sound. These are pleasure-linked sounds like reward chimes, nature sounds like rain, waves, birds, the sound of flames in the fireplace. There are sounds that we use for concentration and meditation. There are memory triggering sounds, which may be relative. These would be the sounds that are deeply imprinted. Sounds from childhood, like school bells or ice cream trucks, church bells, songs that can have you recall experiences instantly. Governments, corporations, covert groups have all explored this because it taps their...
I was just about to say, when you're in church, you know that little curiosity when the pastor, maybe the choir, maybe they might be at altar call. Anytime, even walking, passing a collection plate or walk into the collection, you know it's two of them mugs. They pass the plate and then they make you walk around the table. Anyway, when someone come through the door, it's always something to be like somebody behind you tapping you. You just gotta look. Who the hell is that? Frequencies, man. Frequencies. He was telling the truth, man. But now we understand the narrative. Kinda, sorta.
What's going on YouTube? Listen up, young elder gang. This is Wendy Love at you with another banger. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, fam. I hope this video get at least 100,000 likes in this video. You will find history definitions, scripture information, and best of all, what we Americans have been deprived of from the beginning. The truth. Keep in mind, this content used in this video is intended for entertainment, educational, and informational purposes only. We will give you the total truth as we best understand it today. Be sure to hit that like button, young elder gang, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, hit that bell, and don't forget to check back with us every day for new content. The city breathes in the cold October air, shrouded in fog and uncertainty. Something new stirs. Project Stargate, a name whispered in the dark, a rumor of a $500 billion ghost. Its ambition, a perfect, ordered world. But perfection has a price. Project Stargate is said to be the listener, an AI designed to watch, learn, and understand. A network so vast, we can't see where we end and it begins. The city waits, breath held as the shadow grows. Surveillance isn't new, but this is different. Project Stargate's web links every camera, microphone, and sensor, an all-seeing digital god. Facial recognition in public squares, gait analysis from a block away. Imagine walking down the street. The AI sees you, knows where you've been, who you've met. It's not just watching, it's analyzing, building a profile, a score, a prediction. The cage needs no bars when we build the walls ourselves. The all-seeing eye remakes the world in its image. The line between safety and control blurs. Information is power. Control the narrative, control the world. Project Stargate's rumored reach goes beyond observation. It influences. Imagine a digital world curated by an unseen hand. Inconvenient truths buried, dissenting voices silenced, not by censorship, but by algorithmic manipulation. A war fought in the shadows of our news feeds. The system identifies emerging threats to the status quo and deploys countermeasures. Distracting content, viral videos, celebrity gossip, anything to divert attention. Critical journalism is downranked, official voices amplified. An echo chamber forms, opinions shaped by what we're allowed to see. We believe we're thinking freely. Unaware, our menu of ideas is carefully selected. The control is invisible. Your personalized feed, your recommended videos, your search results. It feels natural, organic. The AI learns your biases, feeds you information to keep you passive, compliant, scrolling. The truth is out there, but lost in a sea of noise. The goal, manufactured consensus. A society that agrees because it never sees an alternative. Trust in leaders because dissent is never compelling. This isn't debate, it's conditioning. Social engineering on a planetary scale. The machine doesn't need to lie, just control which truths you see. The echoes in the machine become the only voice we hear. And soon we forget there was ever another. The silence is deafening. Predictive policing, the holy grail of law enforcement. Project Stargate's AI would take it to a terrifying conclusion. Not just predicting where crime might occur, but who might commit it. Analyzing life data, financial stress, social connections, psychological
Dangerous. Because the word predict is nothing but a bunch of calculations. Let me say that one more time. One more time for the people in the back that wasn't listening. The word prediction, which psychics, people who use the word reading, I'm reading life, I'm reading you. You're on the lowest of the scale and your word is not bond. You're nothing but a bunch of calculated possibilities. But we trust AI, which is the intelligence of you in another alternate way. That's like saying the adversary is opposite of the Most High. Really, what is Shaitan? Shaitan, the real definition, Satan. There's many that form one body. But it still go to and fro. It can't be everywhere at once at the same time. Now you tell me, who's lying here? So to calculate, see, I like the way that she used them words. Words are stick, people. You know what I'm saying? If you understand what you're dealing here with. So calculated possibilities is like walking on your own ammunition, thus saith the book that you can read to communicate, to understand the Bible, right? And so therefore, we already have a dilemma because I'm running on my own ammunition, but because I know what's right and good, I'm thinking on my own ammunition to do what? Exactly what AI is doing. Which that, I don't know if it was a real alien, y'all, but I showed y'all. Remember the guy was like, I'll shoot you in your face if you don't tell me the truth. Like, golly, boy, if ain't nobody like Ishmael, you damn sure is, bro. I never seen you make somebody mad and then asking for a favor at the same time, like it should go your way. Like, I never understood that, bro. I never in my life. And I ain't trying to. But anyway, I don't want to get off topic. Let's get back. Remember the alien was like, AI is going to be ways that human can't even comprehend. Bruh, the natural law of the universe say that whatever is the master, it can't be beat when everything else is a student. So to say that something that somebody create, we all created it. Yeah, look at you. You didn't actually go in the lab and put this thing together, but because it studied you, and it wants to become you, but on the opposite scale, though. You got to remember that this the side of the zodiac you don't like about yourself. That's what they hyphen. When man is involved, oh, bet your buttons, baby. It ain't got nothing to do with the word of Yahuwah or the Most High, or, you know, however you can take that. We're not divided. We divide ourselves because of lack of communication, of understanding each other's light code, or you say angelic light telekinesis path that the mind of the great heavenly mother have given us language. And language ain't shit, boy. If anything, it make all of us confused. Except for when there's wickedness involved. It's the only time it can come in unison.
Files. Calculating a risk score, the likelihood you'll break the law, a digital ghost judging you before you act. This creates a new class, the pre-criminal. Flagged by the algorithm, they've done nothing wrong but are deemed a risk. Society treats them differently. More surveillance, fewer opportunities, quiet warnings, a prison built on probabilities, a sentence for a crime you might never commit. Bias is baked into the code. AI learns from history, and history is prejudiced. The poor, the marginalized, the over-policed, targeted again. The algorithm sees patterns, replicates them, justifies its prejudice with data. More police in high-risk areas, more arrests, more data to feed the cycle. The cycle is endless.
Wow, you can see I didn't look at the video. Y'all know that. I don't be looking at videos. I just see a title and the spirit say, go with it. That's what I do. Then I wouldn't have to explain that 10 minutes of interruption like I'm doing right now, like a infomercial. But I'm on topic, though. She said everything I just said. The AI calculate, woo. Everything I just said. I wish I would have known she was going to get into it.
Fulfilling prophecy. No redemption, no context, no mercy. Just patterns and probabilities. Human complexity reduced to a number. Presumption of innocence becomes obsolete. In Project Stargate's world, you're guilty until proven predictable. A quiet mathematical tyranny. The ghost in the code never sleeps, and it never forgets.
Demons never sleep either.
Predictions are useless without enforcement. Enter the Steel Sentinels. Not clumsy machines, but sleek, silent, unnervingly efficient. They patrol in quiet formations, precise and tireless, following the code. Blank chrome faces, a reminder you're always watched. Their roles expand, handling protests, dispersing crowds with cold precision. You can't reason with them. They are the agents of an algorithm.
One more thing, y'all. Your avatar. Some people, it don't look nothing like them. Be glad, okay? Some people get mad about that. Man, be glad that the world can't replicate you. I would not be unhappy about that. And those of us be like, oh shit, it look like me. That's scary. Because 9 times out of 10, it's a righteous, power, soul child. And we should not be happy that the world could replicate us, even if it is in the flesh. You see anything really replicating the true Christ that walked this mug manifested? Well, you should have the same life, man. Or don't say you're a Kyrie's follower. Period. The world should hate you. They should be like frowning their face when you come to the facility. They damn sure shouldn't be happy. That's for sure. So we got to understand what's really going on. You know, this thing can really make my avatar look like me. Y'all seen it. All right, it's on my Facebook. That's scary. I told y'all. I'm like, shit, it can't replicate Mark. Said Mark Campbell. I told y'all, maybe not YouTube, but Facebook, I told it was an African parrot. If you know anything about an African parrot, it can mimic, like Jamie Foxx, anything. Before I say anybody. This bird can sound like a phone ringing. This bird can rap like Biggie. This bird can sound like Tupac. I was there. I seen it. There was so much going on. I was like, what the hell? It was mimicking the voicemail. The person who talked on the voicemail. It mimicked the rings. It knew that 8 rings click you to the voicemail. It made the click sound. One bird. Before I knew it was the bird, I'm like, God dang, these people busy, bro. Like, how many messages is the bird? I mean, you know, well, I thought people were gonna be leaving. Homeowner. I was working at this time in Virginia at a fire and flood restoration called ServPro. Anybody know nothing about that, boy? That's them lemon, lime, green, orange folks coming to your house with them big old air ducts. You know what I'm saying? Them negative energy machines to get all the mold out. Boy, it get hot up in there too. So the lady said, that's my parrot. Boy, I giggled so hard. Y'all know how I giggle? Giggling like I know what the hell going on and I'm the ignorant one, right? Okay, so I giggle at this lady. Ain't no damn bird. Boy, my mother-in-law had a parrot, all right? And they called it Cookie. But that's besides the point. I was like, I thought I seen it all. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no damn bird doing all that. Bruh, I ain't never. All right, I know people, it can mimic people. Sounds, I didn't know that. All right, so she took the blanket off where the bird was. And buddy, it was like watching Mike Epps on Got Dog on stage. I couldn't believe my eyes that this bird, actually an angelic spirit in the bird, entertaining me and Mark. I say this because it made me think about it when I said that the AI couldn't mimic Mark. When that bird, African parrot, heard the Jamaican accent in English, that Mark Campbell that comes up here and talk to y'all from New York, right? Okay, make sure y'all know the prophet, right? Okay. It would tilt his head like your dog when it's learning something. And it couldn't mimic until I didn't get it until Mark told me it's trying to learn how to mimic me. I noticed when he talk, it don't copy. I talk, it copy me. Every noise, it copy. Except for him. He get to talking for a long time. That bird neck turned to the side like 2 o'clock, 8 o'clock. And it's like, y'all niggas done brought up something up in here I can't I can't mimic. It bothered that bird that he couldn't talk Jamaican, man. I'm not saying my voice is good with the Jamaican. I'm not Hamashiach on it. My wife is. Mark is. I'm straight Igbo, Hebrew, baby, with a little bit of Asian persuasion, Korean in there. That's my father's fault. So, you know, God Barack him. My mama won't say it, but you know, his soul, I don't know where it went. I didn't know the nigga. I tried. I reached out. I want to know my family, for my wife. I didn't want to sleep with a cousin. You know what I'm saying? People crazy, but the old generation, boy. I'm telling you, your mama's mama. I don't know what they was on, including mine. Look, we had to change this. I got to know. So, God rest his soul. Fred, he had a twin. The part that he didn't want to be in my life and not what bothered me. I don't know my other family. And I have a brother that I probably looked in the streets. I'm saying, didn't even know it's my brother. I didn't find him. I don't know until I see him. Until they tell me. And one day I prayed to the Most High. Twice I went to this thing about my father. The very first phone book name that I looked in, it was that nigga. That's how I know I was led by God. You ain't never heard nobody talk about it. I'm gonna look for my own dad, man. See what the hell happened. So, I talked to this guy. He's still in denial. I don't want nothing from you, bro. All I want from you is to tell me who my family is, bro. I don't want no money. I don't want y'all to dish shit to me, just like I talk to y'all on social media. Just do what God tell y'all to do, bro. I'm not here for what you think. And so, I said, listen here, bro. I don't know why I'm saying this, but before either one of us leave this earth, it's saying, the blood is on your hands now, because I tried. And I ain't walking away mad or angry, because I'm glad the way that the Heavenly Father had my mom play both daddy and mommy. And I tell her, Father's Day. I'm not pagan, but I want her to know I remember, Mom. I see now. I understand now. Even when you told me not to. But sometimes you have to tell your parent that so they can appreciate what they done for you and know that it's not in vain. So I said, Ma, all your words came true. And I was trying to make you the bad guy. You know how y'all women can be. You know what I'm saying? I told her. And she knew I wasn't being no asshole because I'm alpha male, but I'm not ignorant. All right? I'm well for the women, and that's why y'all need to hear this story. Why I back women so hard. This ain't something that was put into me by a woman. The true Holy Spirit power, yes, that's called feminine. That ain't female, nor woman. That's power. So I got to see women, like in the Bible, they do the most. Oh, y'all don't talk about it. In the streets, they'll say, boy, I need me a Mary. I need me a Sarah. I don't know hood and them hood rat. They say this. I don't hear the pastors say these things. I see them chase what the streets say they don't want. So that made my eye like, hold up, wait a minute. I'm seeing the good in the streets more than I'm seeing it in the building. And that forever changed my life as a kid, a child, 5 and 6 years old. I saw this, not even trying to put it into my mind. Church was the safe place, I thought. Evidently, in these times, and in those times that I was living in, did not know it was infiltrated by the state. That's why sometimes we be like, I don't remember this when we was in Sunday school. He was even saying that about your schoolwork. Like, what the hell are they teaching these kids? Man, going all around the way. You got to waste a whole page of paper on 2 math problems. What? Never. As long as I got the answer and showed your monkey ass how I got it. We did not care how you got it. But in school today, you get it wrong off of what the school system taught you. Tell your kid, they know it's right. They showed it to them. Come back, it's still wrong. You ain't do it their way. Talk about a narcissist, my nigga. Wait, you rather them take more time. I thought the EOC was about time factor. So the way that I was taught by your system is quicker, but you want them to put all that damn, I don't know what to call it, extra work on that piece of paper. When there's a faster way. There's niggas on the West Coast, but they'll say they from the East. They don't know direction, right? But anyway, China and Asia and all of them, they don't do math like us. Well, you damn near be confused the way they do math, but if you don't understand the process, you won't know that's faster and better. Why have we been given the fool around way with things? Science, technology, mathematics. And come out talking about we the best. No, actually we the slowest. You ever looked at Istanbul? You better. You want to talk about transhumanism? You better. The black lady named Sophia told you that when she made Terminator in the Matrix. But see, when nobody's of the world, who's somebody in the spirit come up in this joint, they hard to be taken, man. Hard to be taken.
Wardens of a new world, perfect, silent, terrifying order. How robot police would treat their victims depends heavily on their programming, human oversight, and the level of autonomy they possess. Since robots lack human emotions like compassion or prejudice, their actions would be guided by algorithms, presenting both potential benefits and serious ethical dangers for anyone involved. If a robot's artificial intelligence, AI, is trained on a perfectly unbiased dataset and operates under strict ethical guidelines, the victim might be treated with mechanical objectivity and fairness. Instead of escalating a conflict based on stress or emotion, a robot could follow programmed de-escalation protocols. It might use neutral language and attempt to diffuse a situation with precision and without prejudice. The robot could be programmed to use only the minimum level of force necessary, precisely following a hierarchy of force options. The decision would be based solely on objective threat assessment, free from human error or emotional judgment. A victim would not face aggression stemming from a robot's personal biases, anger, or fears.
Let's encrypt that. Translation. If something can talk to me and read my biometrics of my metaphysical body and alter it as it's talking to me, why would you need violence? Because that's your Old Testament opposite polarities against the Most High and the children. When they spoke what? Magic. Lies. Manipulation. What's the difference in what this lady talking about right here, right now?
This could eliminate discriminatory or disproportionately violent interactions that plague human policing. In reality, AI is trained on data derived from human decisions, which are inherently biased. If a robot is deployed with algorithms based on flawed historical police data, victims, especially those from over-policed communities, could experience severe mistreatment. If historical arrest data shows higher rates of arrests in minority neighborhoods, a predictive policing robot could flag those areas as high risk. Victims in those communities could be subjected to greater surveillance and police contact, reinforcing existing racial disparities. Flawed facial recognition software, which has been shown to be less accurate for people of color, could lead to a wrongful arrest. A victim could be detained or harmed based on a robotic misidentification, as Alonzo Sawyer was in a real-world case involving facial recognition. Lacking human empathy, a robot could misinterpret a
facial recognition, and before AI, y'all all say we have doppelgangers. Let it marinate.
Victims' cues, such as fear or anxiety, as aggression.
When you find your true match, you'll just know it.
So a doppelganger could actually be the real killer, but because I look like him, that's already a false pretense already. That's why you need human spirit. Not human, but a human spirit. You'll hear them say, oh, you need a human. No, that's still confusing, folks. You need one with a moralistic soul. And when you house that in the body, boy, power gonna come forth from the spirit. Period. That's your 1 Corinthians 15. That's your John, the Gospel 1. That's your John, the first epistle, John, chapter 5. You know? It's like we can go on and on and on. I don't want to throw book scripts at you. Plenty niggas doing that. You still lost. How about we show you?
Inappropriately escalate force in a tense situation, potentially leading to unnecessary harm. In one real-life example, a woman in Los Angeles tried to get help from a security robot during a fight, but the robot simply told her to step out of the way. because it was only programmed to stay on its assigned route. Like any technology, police robots can malfunction or make errors. This could result in victims being...
Even a dog as a pet can be uploaded information. I told you not to bite, but sick them, or you give them the cue right then and there. That's something outside of the program. But you see how quick it would obey you and attack? What you wanted to do on that? It ain't programmed to fight. I guess you robbed and shot me.
Run over or otherwise harmed by a machine that isn't programmed to navigate complex human interactions. Even if programmed to be objective, a robot's action can be perceived as less ethical when it causes harm to an innocent person, as research has shown. This could lead to public mistrust and protests. When a human officer misbehaves, there is a clear chain of accountability. With robot police, it becomes murky. If a victim is harmed, it's unclear who is legally responsible, potentially denying the victim justice. In cases of robot-inflicted harm, blame could be passed between the police department, the manufacturer, and the human operator. This blame shifting could insulate the involved parties from responsibility, leaving the victim without recourse. As seen with the debate in San Francisco over equipping bomb disposal robots with explosives, human operators or even algorithms could remotely deploy deadly force. This removes the on-the-scene context that can allow a human to de-escalate, increasing the risk of lethal force against victims. In many places, there are no comprehensive laws regulating how police use AI. This legal vacuum could enable authorities to misuse robotic technology, potentially violating civil liberties and privacy without consequence. Who builds such a system? Not cartoon villains, but the elite, titans of industry, finance, and technology. They see society as a system to be optimized, chaos to be tamed. Their ambition is born of arrogance, not malice. From their towers, they believe they can design a better, safer, more profitable world. Project Stargate is their masterwork, a tool to smooth out humanity's rough edges, manage risk, ensure stability. It's technocratic control. With enough data, humanity can be solved. They justify it with progress, security, efficiency, harmony, falling crime rates, prevented attacks, a simple choice, freedom or safety, chaos or order. In uncertain times, many choose order, trading liberty for security. The architects...
I just showed y'all what frequency can do. And that's hidden. Hidden information. Let's finish that. I think we was right there.
Police, EMS radio talk, the whirring of a fan or AC unit, construction tools, jackhammers, drills, laughter in the background, whispering, sudden silence in a room, someone calling your name, crying or shouting, coughing in a crowd, the applause of a crowd. And maybe you hear in the backgrounds,
Oh yeah, I remember that part.
cracks and snaps, distant or approaching footsteps, animal growls or hissing, high-pitched ringing or screeching, glass breaking.
I remember that part too.
They can prime your compliance, fear, and aggression. They can use rhythm to unite crowds. You can get the crowd fired up and calm with sound. You get this herd effect. If you ever walked through a casino, in the casino, there are a lot of chimes, whistles, bells, ringing and bleeping. And that amount of auditory chaos puts you in survival mode. And so you start making short-term decisions, and you're likely to become emotionally reactive. This is not by accident. That's why places like casinos and shopping malls are like this. Of course, with awareness, we can do something about a variety of these sounds. Some are just good to be aware of.
Put you in a state of narrative, like every portal door or window you go through, puts you in a state of mind. What you do in the bed, you don't do in the living room. What you do in the living room and the bed, you do differently in the bathroom. Those are 3 different scenarios, as well as the kitchen, your daughter's room, son's room. You all do different things. That's just your house. You play many characters. Still understand the omnipresent, omnipotent? Because the opposite polarity can only go to and fro. Once they enter into the body, then they can become the spirit. Braka, YouTube.